Hi, my name is Rob Greco, and I'm here today to talk to you about cloning. Cloning a plant is actually relatively simple, and what I mean by cloning is taking an existing plant or part of a plant and cutting it and regrowing the root system. The nice thing about that is that you don't have to start from a seed, and the plant already thinks that it can be potentially mature if it came from a mature plant. So what I'm going to show you today is actually this young tomato plant where I have three plants coming out of the container here. And this is a problem because not all three plants will eventually be able to survive. So what I'm actually going to do is cut one of these out of here and clone it into a different pot where it's going to be allowed to regrow its root structure. So what we do in this case is I'm going to take one of these plants off here and I'm just going to cut it down at the base. So right now you've just really made this plant mad because you've cut off its entire root structure. One of the things we have to also be careful of is the leaves around it because there's no root structure, so it's not going to be able to uptake any nutrients or any water at this point, at least for about a week. So what we want to do is minimize the leaves, and on a plant this size we want to make sure we get the growth point, which is the very top, but we're also going to cut off all these leaves. They're going to die eventually because there is no root structure, and since we're trying to encourage root growth, we want to eliminate a lot of these leaves. So as you can see, I've eliminated a lot of these leaves down here, so the plant is now going to focus on growing new roots, not growing its foliage. So what we then do is we don't want to have a super long root structure here. We want to have maybe 4 to 6 inches in total and cut ideally at a 45-degree angle. So I'm going to go ahead and pick this location midway and just cut it again in half. I have a new container here, which is just filled with Coco Pith, and I'm just going to make a little hole and just bury them right down in the middle. Build around it, and that's it. This guy is ready to be cloned, meaning that if you give him enough light, you keep him warm, he will regrow a new root structure as is. The main thing is to keep it hydrated, keep it warm, and give it plenty of light. When you do the first cut like this, where you're cutting it from the main plant, it doesn't have any roots, like I said, it's going to be very mad, so there will be some wilting that occurs. But like I said, as long as you have enough light on it and it's moist, you should be fine. Give it about a week, and this plant will grow a new root structure. Like I said, to get a plant at this point took a couple weeks, but when you clone it in this fashion, it's only going to take 1 week and it's going to continue growing. You can take from a mature plant, a young plant like this, it doesn't matter. And that's all it is to cloning, at least from a tomato plant standpoint. So that's it. This is how to clone a tomato plant.